All right, Shalom. First and foremost, when you walk prayer, glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Akakwadash. Give honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and to all the occupants across the globe, pushing the word of truth and sincerity. I want to say Shalom. Going for my morning walk, I implore you brothers to go out there and get your daily dose of exercise on, walking, jogging, get outside, get some air, And I'm just pondering, well, actually, it's crazy because I'm going to go into adultery, but the noise of a fool is irksome, man. It's a lot with vexed the filthy conversation of the wicked. Listen to this, and this is mostly to the men, all right, who are so pussy-driven, sex-driven, lustful men, all right, who don't take no for an answer, who covets another man's wife, which is his possession, his belongings, knowing he may not be trusted, shows a lack of integrity, shows a lack of restraint, and don't be wrong, we've all been there, I've been there, I always knew what was wrong. I've seen the effects of friends and family members who have been distraught over women, who didn't try to off themselves over women, who have off themselves over women, and it's a treacherous and traitorous act committed by both the man and the woman. All right, but this is thou shalt not commit adultery. And adultery is a man sleeping with another man's wife. Adultery is a woman sleeps with another man while she's married. All right, or having sexual relations with a man that she calls her husband or boyfriend. And it's not about hating. It's not about not getting no box. It's about possession and what's yours. It's an abomination to the Lord. And it's a sin worthy of death. And one thing I come to understand about not committing adultery is integrity. The many more women that are out here that are single, all right, that we can holler at. Looking at a woman and desiring to have a woman, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's plenty of fish in the sea than to go after your neighbor's wife, your boss's wife, Something that was taught to us when I very first came in the truth, understanding adultery was, the first question you ask is, do you got a man, a husband, a boyfriend, a significant other? And the answer is, yeah, that's the end of the conversation. That you have a good day. And I've been in situations where sometimes they call you back and like, no, I don't talk to women who are in a relationship, And it drives them crazy because they want to be adulterers. They want the extra attention from males, The scriptures clearly define what adultery is. It said, thou shalt not steal, and that's what you're doing. You're stealing. You're trespassing against another man. And a lot of you guys want to act like when a woman commits adultery on you or cheats on you, you're so big and bad that you're not worried about it. Well, I've been on the other end of that, and you niggas be calling and blowing her up, man. You big old tough guys toting the guns. You constantly blowing her up early in the morning and late at night, and driving past the crib and honking, and she showing me text messages, man. And that was funny back then. But even you tough guys, man, don't like to be cheated on. All right. This is Exodus. Was Exodus? Oh no, it's locked. Leviticus 20. And 10. The man that commits adultery with another man's wife, even he that commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death, man. You know, and that's one thing that people don't understand, that the judgment, the recompense, all right, of being stoned to death is not going forth. You know, so they say Ecclesiastes says, execution against an evil work, and executed speedily, dearly the hearts of sons of men are clearly said to do evil. Roughly paraphrasing, man. And because people are not getting pulled out their homes and being stoned in the act and brought out in front of the congregation and having a heap of stones put on them, they think it's okay. You know? I had a friend, not a friend, a co-worker, who was from Saudi Arabia. He was Israelite, married to Ishmaelite, and they still got public stonings in the square, you know, for adulterers and thieves. You see, that's something that's gonna that's something that will keep people in alignment and in order. If you know that you're gonna be, that you will lose your life over a woman, okay? It says shall surely be put to death. There's no trial about it, man. All right. It says, whoso committeth adultery with a woman, lack of understanding, and he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. So that'll let you know a guy who's constantly talking about sleeping around with somebody else's wife and bragging about how he's going to their house while the man's at work, or sitting in the, she come visit him and you know he's laughing at the husband or boyfriend because he wants to know where his wife is at. You know, it shows that guy has no integrity. He has no understanding. He has no sense. You know, and we should go away from that. You know, call Shalak Rayam to you motherfucking niggas, man. You know, I'm talking to this guy now that's I'm acquaintances with only because of the situation. You know, but that's all he talks about. All right, wanting to have sex with somebody's wife, his boss, you know, his friends. You know, always wondering and asking questions about another man's wife, man. As a matter of fact, Shalak Rayam, Jake Jester, man. I just had to put it out there. All right, that's a wicked individual. And there are many wicked individuals, all right, who think that it's okay and cute, all right, to go around and to be, always want to be around your kids and your wife, texting and Facebook friending. Hey, we don't Facebook friends our brother, significant others, even though we may know who they are. You see? We don't want to be around your wife. We don't want to see your wife, man. Okay? We're not into this, you know, what they call for a love connection, man. All right? So a wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall be not wiped away, man. All right? You can't be trusted. You're going around sleeping with men's wives, man. You know? The president got kicked out the truth for that. All right? There have been people who have been in the truth, all right, who the Lord has fucked up over that, man. The Seattle Snake. For those of us who remember, I remember him from back in the day. going around to different camps, sleeping with brothers' wives, which just shows, the women, the character of women, but nonetheless, he did those acts. They may have the name wrong, but brothers remember this from many years ago. All right, and that thing, it follows you around forever. It's like when a woman knows that you're a known cheater, right? All right, or when you know a woman's a known cheater, that shame, that stain, follows you, man. That's the point. But jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance. And you want to call these people fighting over a woman and going out over a woman? Well, that's his wife with his kids, and he invested his time, his money, his feelings into it. And he catches you in the bed with her, and he offs you. Hey, he's in the right in the eyes of the Lord, man. You see? For you to think that you're going to be absolved from committing a treacherous act, that's treachery. All right? It's treacherous. And thinking to be spared is disillusional, man. You know? If somebody came up to your motherfucking woman while you out with her, and because you got more things than you snatch your girl away, you're going to be fucking upset, man. No matter how tough you think you are, man. I've done it, and I've seen it. All right? So if you get caught in the act of adultery, and that man kills you, call halal yabashim yabashai, man. It says he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou gavest many gifts, man. You try to recompense, you try to pay him back, you try to pacify it by doing things, by giving him things. You don't want that, man. Now you gotta look at if you stay with her, you gotta look at the wife and imagine all the fucking things you've done to her and put your hands on her, man. Saying sorry did not fix everything, man. You know? So out here, man, be mindful of these women. All right, their snares and their traps. All right, they're deceitful. You have any inkling that a woman has a man, you go to her crib and you see men's clothes and men's shoes and she ain't got no grown kids, leave. You only see you and visit you after certain hours and all that. Hey, more than likely she's got a man somewhere tucked away, man. So be mindful of that, man, unless the Lord comes and destroy you for it, Devil say shalom.